Welcome to the latest Watercolors Aquarium Gallery video brought to you from the Aquarium Rush Studios in Grand Rapids, Michigan. You know, I never get sick of unboxings.
No, and especially plant unboxings.
It's so much fun to get new stuff. Let's see what we got.
It's like Christmas morning pretty much every day here.
And without Charles once again, because he really doesn't like plants at all.
Always good when we can sneak one in without him.
Let's see what we got.
I'm right here.
Oh, shoot.
We thought you didn't like plants.
Yeah, they're still fun to unbox.
All right, fine. You can help.
All right. We'll let you in on this one.
All right, here we go. First, just rip that bag open. Look at these Amazon swords.
Ooh, some more nice big ones.
These guys always do such a great job with swords for us. I'm so happy with those.
Yeah.
I honestly think this is the first time I've seen plants unboxed in the store.
Yeah.
Just, like as he's pulling them out, I'm like, wow, I've never seen them at this point.
Behind the scenes.
Welcome to the cool kids, Charles.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Rosette swords.
Ooh.
You talked about that in the podcast.
Yeah, and we'll have a really good example of why I like them so much. Because I think Amazon swords are kind of the most traditional looking sword.
Yeah.
And these have pretty much the same look, but are just so much smaller.
They're super cool.
Yeah, love these plants.
Yep, they work really well together too, actually.
Sometimes big things come in small packages.
This looks like a hair grass.
Yeah, that is so long.
Yes, very cool. Giant hair grass.
I have some plans for that.
Very cool.
Yeah, and there's so much more here than it looks like. Look how many of them there are. Beautiful.
Yeah, that looks really good. Another staple. This is contortion veil or giant corkscrew veil.
Now,
Look at the curlies on those leaves.
Oh, those are pretty.
I've heard there's a difference between this and corkscrew valve. What is that?
It's really size that's going to be the difference.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sizes in width of leaf or length?
width of leaf.
Mm.
It should be a little bit wider leaf. Both of them have the potential to get really nice long leaves. Depending on the conditions, you can get VALISNERIA that grows short, VALISNERIA that grows long.
Yeah.
Very few of the species are going to have variation really in how long they're going to get. Some will just do it faster than others. Width of leaf that's the difference.
Gotcha.
Of course there's exceptions because, you know,
Yeah.
it's plants, there's always exceptions.
That spiral shape is really
It
interesting.
is very cool. What is this guy here? Looks like another sword. Yep, red melon swords. This is the immersed red melon sword. When they do grow submerged, you can see already we're starting to get some good red on there.
Yeah, just that little bright red leaf.
Yep, very cool.
Like as you're unpacking this, I'm like, man, there's a lot in this box.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they pack them really well for us. ANUBIAS HASTIFOLIA.
Wow.
This is a great seller for us because it's such a cool, unique leaf shape. It's a really big, really easy plant.
It's kind of looks very similar to like lilies, but I would argue easier, even though I don't really consider lilies a hard plant to keep in the tent.
Yeah, I agree. Good waxy ANUBIAS. Speaking of ANUBIAS,
As if we could ever have enough.
I know, right? ANUBIAS LANCEOLATA, right?
Yeah.
Or is it? That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, LANCEOLATA. Nice,
Beautiful.
long, narrow ANUBIAS plants.
Ooh,
I think,
look at
Amy,
this.
you're right, that one of these days we need to do an aquascape with just a bunch of different ANUBIAS
This
plants.
one really cool variegated red leaf in here.
That's interesting.
Really
There's a
pretty.
couple of them that have them.
That's not something I
Yeah.
usually think about with this plant.
Huh.
That's really pretty.
I wonder if we can get those conditions to come out a little bit more
Yeah.
with a little brighter light and
That would be a fun
some
experiment.
ferns. Very cool. ANUBIAS COFFEEFOLIA, another staple. I'm going to keep saying that, but plants are a staple here. So,
I think this is probably my favorite texture of ANUBIAS. Because this is going to sound so stupid, but it's the most planty looking of the ANUBIAS.
yeah, I don't know what you mean.
But like when you think plant in your head, this looks
This
so,
does it for you, huh?
Yeah, this looks so much what I think plant.
I wouldn't say that it sounds stupid. It sounds a little weird, but
Yeah.
not stupid. Stupid just seems too harsh.
COFFEEFOLIA comes from the look of a coffee plant. So they have a similar leaf to a coffee plant.
Oh,
A
that's
coffee,
cool.
yeah.
That makes all kinds of sense. Next, what do we got here? Pennywort, Brazilian pennywort.
Now, does it actually come from Brazil? Like,
Well, you never know. Sometimes it just looks like it might. What did we just learn? The Laos pygmy pygmy loach
yeah.
isn't from Laos. It's from the Laos River in Vietnam.
Oh,
Yeah, I learned that yesterday. I was like, oh.
that's so funny. I would never even thought of that.
There's some pennywort there. Just has a really cool texture
Yeah.
in an aquascape.
I don't know why I have the impression that pennyworts are usually Asian, so that's just a thing that I have in my head. So we're gonna have to look that up.
Yep, for sure.
That's like Crystal's book is
I
right on the
know.
corner.
LIMNOPHILA aromatica. Great stem plant.
You know I'm gonna smell this one.
I know, right?
What's it smell like?
I don't know, but it's aromatic.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes. I would eat that. I would put that on a salad. That smells really quite good.
Yeah, it's basil-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Fascinating.
It smells most similar to like a sweet pie basil.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
get it.
By the way, I would not recommend putting that on a salad without doing at least a little bit of research.
Please don't eat aquarium plants from our videos. We will not be held responsible for that.
This
But,
is
you know,
AMMANIA.
you can sniff it.
Yeah.
I
It does
think.
smell good. You don't sleep as much as Splash does.
Mhm.
This is AMMANIA senegalis.
Pretty.
This gets a really good red
Mm-hmm.
under the right conditions.
I've had several customers come back from AMMANIA we've sold and show me pictures and be like, look how much, like, they're kind of like teasing me, but they're
Yeah.
like, look how much better it looks in my tank.
They
By
do-
the way, we're good with those kinds of statements.
Sure, they do take some time to settle in, and once they do, amazing plants.
This is the biggest I've seen COSTATA come in.
Wow.
That was so big I didn't process that could be a crypt.
I thought I was opening a sword plant.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Those are cool. This is not a store staple. This is not a crypt we usually get at all. So I'm kind of getting sold on this,
Yeah,
though.
it's good.
I have an open space in the back of one of my tanks.
This would be perfect.
Charles is turning into a plant guy.
Well, it does kind of look like much longer, thicker leaves like Cryptlucens has, and I know that's one of your favorites.
Speaking of crypts coming in big and long and beautiful,
You know, they weren't kidding when they said extra large.
yes, look at these crypt spiralis.
Wow.
Beautiful.
They have that perfect spiral right now,
They
too.
do, and the texture, I love the texture of that. I just like crinkly leaves. One of my things.
There's just something about, I don't know, like I think a texture, this came up in the coral video. I think people really underappreciate texture. Everyone fixates on colors of their plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or their corals, but I'm like, think about the texture.
Right, right. It definitely matters.
But maybe that's as a person who I care more about textures in my tank than I do colors.
So the opposite end of the Anubias spectrum,
Oh.
they're so cute.
Tiny.
That is Anubias nana petite.
Oh.
They are very petite.
So many of the Anubias plants are Anubias barteri with a variation. So technically this is Anubias barteri, variation nana, cultivar petite.
Now,
That's a little much.
How many layers down can we go?
now I do get a lot of questions of, is this going to grow big? Is this just a young Anubias?
No, the leaves on that plant should stay small. It can still grow into a large plant, but should always have tiny leaves. Perfect. This is Anubias fraseri. This one we've seen coming quite large too, so this does have the potential to get some really good size to it. But again, more of that lanceolate leaf shape, not quite as lanceolate as lanceolata, but pointy on the ends, pointy on each end.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Very cool.
And really good red on the stems on
Yep.
this plant. Love it.
Here's some wisteria.
I looked for a second like it came in with submerged leaves, but it did not.
Nope.
That's okay.
Isn't that-
They never do.
They transform really easily.
Yeah, but they're still great looking plants.
Yep.
They almost look like a maple leaf.
They do.
They look like
Wait.
a little herb.
Doesn't smell like anything. I had to try.
Do we need to check them all now?
Roll back the tape.
Wow.
Is it-
Lots of great plants. I mean, once again, so Amy is the one who does the plant ordering. She hits it out of the park.
I hit it out of the park because I order everything they have. I don't think there's any way we can have too many plants here.
It's true. This is Scarlet Temple plant. Speaking of good reds,
Mhm.
this looks transitional. That looks sort of submerged, but we should get some more red out of that plant.
Oh, we definitely get more red of them once they're
Definitely.
submerged.
Yep. Very cool.
There's little flowers on them too.
Oh.
How often do you see a flower on a stem plant, Charles?
I don't.
Only when they come in immersed.
So this is one of the deep, deep burgundy red plants. This is LUDWIGIA pruensis. And it's already got a lot of really good color in it, but it gets even like this robust burgundy color to it.
It's really unique.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
See, a lot of people try to get some of like the crimson colors in their plants, but I think this is just, it seems more real.
Mhm.
Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Even though those ones are also real, I know what you're
it's
talking
like,
about.
it's very clearly a
It's
plant,
very
but
fall-like.
In the era of fun plants, someday we need to do a Dr. Seuss themed tank with a bunch of moss balls.
Yeah.
They just look like they belong in a Dr. Seuss tank. So we got both small and mediums in the moss balls.
Look at how cute they are, though. Mini moss balls. Come on.
They're awesome. And then we got the bigger ones too.
Nice.
now these
Just
are
fun.
not a rock in the center there with stuff
Right.
growing around it.
Right.
This is an algae, right?
This is technically an algae. And the fronds of the algae are sort of like the light tube thing.
Fiber optic.
Thank you. Brain fart there. Yes. The veins are fiber optic. So that brings the light into the middle of the plant. So if you break it, the inside is still green because it gets light.
I knew the inside was still green. I did not know that's why.
That's it. ROTALA WALLICHI. This is a really frilly leafed Wallichi, fine frilly leaves, really narrow leaves, I guess I should say
Yeah.
a little better.
Fluffy.
Fluffy, fluffy, but short fluffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard to tell when they're out of the water because they
Cool.
do look like wet hair, but they will fluff out.
They feel a little like wet hair too,
They
and they
smell
don't smell
like wet
at
hair.
all.
I was really hoping you'd be like, smells like wet dog.
Oh no, that's just because it's raining outside and we just walked the dog.
Yeah.
We picking on her and she's taking a nap behind us. She can't even defend herself.
And this is LUDWIGIA Super Red Mini. This is a cultivar of LUDWIGIA that's really popular in aquascaping right now because it's such that deep, deep, cool red color.
So vibrant, tiny leaves, which I know
Yeah.
a lot of people really like in their
Yep.
tanks.
It really helps with scale. So
Sure.
a smaller tank, smaller leaves in a smaller tank make the tank look bigger.
Yeah.
I think that's something people don't really appreciate because you look at those aquascaping competitions and most of those tanks are like 8 to 10 gallons.
Yeah.
It's
And they do
pretty
not
impressive.
look good.
Right.
No.
Right. And then it looks like we got a whole bunch of tissue cultures here.
I think this is all portion cups of.
Hydrocotyl tripartita. Yep.
Yep. So this is the dwarf Japan pennywort. See, this is why I was wondering why I had the impression that
Aha.
pennyworts are Asian. This is probably why. And so we talked about the really big pennyworts, but this is a really small one,
Uh-huh.
and they kind of look like shamrocks. They're really pretty. They can grow well floating too.
I'm pretty sure it is from South America and a cultivar that was developed in Japan.
It could be. You're probably right.
Yep. Very cool.
But a beautiful plant.
Well, that's what we got today, guys. There's another really good shipment of plants. Come on down to the gallery and check them out.
Make sure to look at our podcast. It's the Watercolors Aquarium Gallery podcast. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and be sure to subscribe to the channel.
Is your favorite plant here? If not, let us know what it is and we'll try to find it for you.
Show us, talk about your favorite plants in your tanks and how they do for you and what you do with them.
Yeah.
Okay, Charles, you could be part of the plant stuff. Let's have fun. Thanks for watching and keep those hands wet.